All right, cool. So we are streaming live and then we're recording live. So perfect, guys. So welcome to the webinar. I'm Jason Brown. I'm going to be walking you through my 3P system to profiting from the stock market using the power of options. And here's the key, even when stocks are falling. So most people know how to make money one way, and that's if the stock is going up. We're going to walk you through how to make money even if stocks are falling. All right. So if you're watching part of our webinar system, if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching live on Facebook, welcome. We're going to walk you through the complete entire system. So we're going to be spending about an hour, maybe an hour and 30 minutes, depending on how quick we can get through the information. So let's dive into it because we got a lot to cover today. So again, I'm walking you through my signature system. So if you've never heard of this system, it's the power trade system. So we call it the 3P system. That's power charts, power trades, power profits. I'm going to walk you through each block, each piece, and show you how they stack upon each other and show you how I get those insane returns. So sometimes people see the returns and they're like, how is he getting these 10, 15, 20, 50% returns from the stock market? I'm going to show you exactly in 3 steps with my signature system how the whole thing works. And we have one more presentation happening later tonight at I believe it's 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. So if you got somebody who you think should see this, who should learn this information, who you want to share this information with, feel free to tag them. If you're on Facebook, share it on YouTube, or send us an email to get the link for tonight's last and final webinar that we're going to be doing tonight. All right. So shut off any distractions. If you have a cell phone, turn it off, put it on do not disturb. My phone's on do not disturb, as you can see right here. And then be sure to participate. So the chat box is open. If you're on the webinar platform, only we can see your your chat. If you're on obviously the other platforms, everyone can see your chat. So participate. If I ask a question, participate. That's how you'll get more out of it. It makes it a little bit more fun than just talking to a screen and a microphone when you guys out there participate. And then grab a pen and paper in case you want to take some notes. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff today. So let's get into it. You're in the right place if you want to develop a plan for generating consistent income from the stock market. So even if you have less than $1,000 to start with, you're in the right place if you want to learn how to generate consistent income from the stock market. All right. I started with less than 1,000, started with $500. We're going to walk you through that whole process. If you're looking for a game plan to confidently grow your account, that's the key, to confidently grow your account while working a full-time job, because I built my trading account while I was working a full-time job without day trading or without sitting in front of a computer all day, then you're in the right place. If you want to discover how to protect your investment, so you've done well for yourself financially, you want to know how can I get involved but protect what I already have. I don't want to put a lot at risk. You want to protect your account from major losses, even if you've lost big money in the past. Right, you're in the right place. And if you want to learn the strategies to generate money, literally, I mean, it's in any market condition, even from falling stocks. I'm going to show you a real example or case study of how I generated money from a stock going down. That's right. Most people don't even realize you can make money from a stock going down. I'm going to share with you how that all works. Now, this training is not for you. I think it's equally important to let people know who it's not for. So if you're watching this and you fall in this category, feel free to log off and go on with your life, right? This isn't for you if you're looking for a way to get rich quick without learning this industry. What I'm about to share with you, it does take work. It does take putting in some time. And if you're not willing to put in that time, at least what I like to say is about 2 hours a week, then this isn't for you. So that leads me to my second point. If you're lazy, you're not willing to put in the work to actively manage your own account. If you only think other people can manage your money better than you, by the time we're done, if you still feel that way, this isn't for you. Or if you're not willing to at least put in 2 hours a week, okay, this isn't just kind of sit back and the money just comes flowing to you. You do have to put in some work. You do have to study, but I promise you the rewards are at the end of studying and putting in that work. If you're not willing to take calculated risks, okay, so there are no guarantees here. These are just calculated moves. These are calculated risks. These is probability and statistics. The stuff we're going to show you may have a 70, 80, 90% chance of working out. There is that 30, 20, 10% chance that it will not work. So if you're not willing to take calculated risks, all right, just the way you take calculated risks every time you get in a car and you drive somewhere, you buckle up and you take a calculated risk. It's a 90% chance you're going to get to where you're getting on time and okay, but there's a 10% chance you can get into an accident, okay? And those chances increase if it's raining, if it's snowing. So I want to make it real simple for you. So that's what I mean by calculated risk. No guarantees, but there is a high probability that things will work out if you follow the system. All right. And then last but not least, if you get upset or offended when someone gives 60+ minutes of free content and makes an offer at the end, this isn't for you, because yes, we're going to make an offer at the end and share with you how you can take your learning deeper with myself, with my community, with my courses, with my students. But we'll talk more about that at the end. And I'm going to share with you what you'll learn by hanging out with me today. So we're going to walk you through the 3 most important stock trends to spot. Okay, so if you've never paid attention to the stock market, you don't understand stock trends, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through the 3 most important stock trends to spot so that you can get in and stay in winning trades longer. And then obviously when something's going against you, it's not working out, you want to be able to get out of the trade. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the three most important trends. So this is like when I get to those trends, you might want to grab that pen and paper. All right. I'm going to walk you through 2 of my favorite ninja strategies every investor should know so that you can supercharge your earning potential in good markets and have a strategy to profit in down markets. I can't stress that enough. When stocks turn down and go down, most people are like, I heard the market was down today. Well, people like myself who know how to trade options, that's opportunity for us to actually make money even when the market is down. And I'll show you a real case study from my real account. All right. And then I'm going to walk you through my 3P system for picking profitable stock trades in less than 2 hours, regardless if the market is up or down. This is what we do every week with our members for 2 hours live. I'll walk them through my system. I'm looking for real trades in my real account. So I'm going to share with you the process of how that system works. So if that's all right with you, everybody type ready. All right. Let me know you're ready to go. So type ready, no matter where you're watching this from, just type the word ready. Cool. The readies are coming in. Perfect. All right. So let's, every time I say so let's, I think about the commercial, let's get jets. All right. So readies are coming in. Perfect. So let's get into it. And then as a bonus for hanging out with me today, I'm going to actually share with you how you can get my stock trading course for free and my option trading course for free. That's right. So 2 fun rewards for hanging out to the end. I'm going to show you exactly how to get those for free. So stick with me here. So how many of us have one of these? Let's get into the content. How many of us have one of these? A cell phone, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on you got Wi-Fi or cable in the house, that little symbol with the GPS, maybe that's Google. You didn't Google Map something, or you use Yelp, one of these companies. How many of us have one of these, right? So a couple of people saying I do. Well, everybody should be saying I do, right? Because we're all consumers. But I typically like to follow that up with this question. How many of us own the stock? Okay, unless usually 90% of the room doesn't raise their hand, right? And so what I want you to understand is that you are already participating in the stock market. Whether you know it or not, you're already participating in the stock market. There's just 2 sides of it. You're participating from a consumer side, or you're participating from the investor side, okay? And so you only have 2 feet, right? And so most people have both of their feet planted on the consumer side. All they do is spend money. And so we thank you for that, because you are the people who help the valuation of the companies go higher for the companies that we're investing in. But what I want you to be able to do today is take 1 foot out of the consumer side and put 1 foot in the investor side and learn how to get paid as well from these great companies that make great products or provide great service that you're already participating in. It's just an opportunity for you to actually get paid on it as well. So let me take you back to the year 2001. All right. So that was a time for me in my life where I was just trying to figure out how not to work weekends. I was the guy working inside. I'm here in Detroit, Michigan. I was the guy inside of Best Buy. I was working for Sprint. Then I eventually worked for Verizon. I was one of those guys in there telling you about your cell phone. I was, who's your cell phone provider when you walk past my little cell phone booth. And I just got tired of doing that on the weekends. I was trying to figure out how to get my weekends back. Maybe some of you can relate if you work in retail. And so, I was in debt, had credit card debt, had a car debt. I had all this debt because I was really busy trying to look like I was making money. But really I was deep in debt on credit cards. Right. And so someone once told me like, okay, you just got to work hard. Right. I was like, I want to make money. I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. It's like, you got to work hard. And I felt like they were like this gentleman right here. I felt like whoever told me that just kind of had their hands behind their back. And I felt like they were just like, just kidding. You know what I'm saying? Because I started to work hard. And so I bought into that theory of working hard. And what do most people do when they think about working hard? Most people do what I believe most people do what I did when they are told to work hard. And that's what? They go get a second job. That's right. I went, got a second job. So I was working 2 jobs. I was working harder than I've ever worked in my life. And I quickly realized one of my mentors once told me that, hey, 2 jobs are for 2 people. And then you just ended up tired, right? And I never forget one time my mentor said, if your first job didn't get you where you want to be, and that's supposed to be your quote unquote good job, then why would you go get a second one? And I thought, I don't know, but that's a great question, right? And so let me be clear today. We are not bashing jobs or anything like that. I was appreciative of the job I had when I was a regional manager for Comcast. But what I do realize is that working hard is not an essential ingredient for getting ahead. And I'll prove it. Do you know anyone who works hard? Maybe they do physical or manual labor out in the sun. Do you know anybody that works hard, has 2 jobs, 3 jobs? They got a regular job, a part-time job, and they babysit or do hair or something on the side. They got all these hustles or jobs, but they still don't get ahead financially, okay? And so I'm going to share with you the secret to getting ahead financially. And guess what? It's not working hard. It's about working smart. And that's what I'm going to share with you as well. I also thought the key was climbing the corporate ladder, right? So I was like, I'm going to get my degree, got my bachelor's in finance from Wayne State, climbed the corporate ladder, was a regional manager for Comcast, and literally at the end of that ladder, I was just trading time for dollars. I always like to say it was a cuckoo clock waiting for me, because here's the thing, guys. Here's what you don't realize when you get offered that salary. You end up typically overworked and underpaid. And here's why. Because salary equals the golden handcuffs. All right. What does that mean? I found out that I had some gold handcuffs, because no matter, I agreed to the 6 figures, but then they was working me 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. And I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute. Once you divide up how much I make in salary by hourly, I wasn't making as much as you thought when you spread it out over the amount of hours that I was working. I was on call. I was working Sundays. I was working nights, working weekends. And I thought, I'm not even getting overtime, time and a half, none of that, right? So that's when I quickly realized, like, man, that's like the golden handcuffs. And again, not knocking a job or not knocking salary. We need doctors, lawyers, teachers. We need everybody. I'm just saying that system is not a system for creating wealth. It is a system. You can get healthcare benefits, not refuting that. When I needed a job and I had a job, I was very appreciative that somebody hired me. So I'm not that guy that's going to get on here and poo-poo a job. But I will tell you that the job is not the key as far as generating wealth and generating and being able to go to the next level. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And so I knew there had to be more to life than trading time for dollars. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. All right. And so I started thinking to myself, there has to be a better way. Like there has to be a better way to do this thing called making money. Right. And so I started thinking and researching. I said, what if what they taught me was wrong? Like, what if instead of me working hard for my money could work hard for me? Those were new concepts to me. I was never taught that growing up as a kid. Here in Detroit, it was like, get a job at Chrysler, get a job at Ford or GM and stay there for 40 years. And so I started thinking, what if what they taught me was wrong? Can anybody relate to that? Like some of the stuff they taught you, just go to school, get a degree, work hard. And you're like, this is not working out like I thought, or you couldn't find a job in your field. And you're like, what if they were a little wrong? Or what if they had it backwards, right? Like I said, what if my money was supposed to work hard for me instead of me working hard for it? And I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to do that. And so back in 2003, I just want to give you a little bit of my story in case you're not familiar with me, because we got a ton of people watching from all over. Back in 2003, when I found out how the stock market worked, and for those of you who don't know, I had took $500 and I was trying to make $50 to not work weekends. Well, once I had made my first $50 to $100, I was like, wait a minute, if I did that with $500, then if I had 5,000, I would have made 500. Then I was like, if I had 10,000, I would have made 1,000. I was like, $1,000 not working. Oh, I'm in. And so I was like, how do I get 10,000 bucks? I took a $10,000 student loan because I had a scholarship. I applied for student loans. When they paid the money to the account, I got a refund. I was just a creative guy figuring out how to get into the game. So I took that $10,000 and I turned it into 113. It was like profit. So I turned it into over a 6-figure trading account. And I'm like 22 years old or something like that. All right. And so that's when I became obsessed with this industry. I started researching, investing in different strategies. And that's when I learned options. And I just really was, I was just sold on learning more about how this industry works because I had a taste of what life could be like. And then I just want to share with you a little bit about how life is for me today. I love to go skydiving. I'm a certified scuba diver up to 125 feet. Me and my best friend there on the left, we go scuba diving. We are both certified. And then I was able to buy our dream home. I say my wife and I, our dream house on the lake. We just had a baby shower this past weekend. Our baby's due in September. You can see we had the pink and the blue because we don't know what sex we're having. We're going to wait into the delivery room. But I'm just so proud to be in the position to be at home at my dream house. And it's not like I'm 60 or 70 or 80 years old, not knocking those ages, but to be able to do it young and knowing that our baby's on the way, that I'll be home, I'll be free. I have my time to stay home and raise our child in our dream house, go out to the back, scuba dive in the lake, or just enjoy life. And I'm not sharing that to boast or brag, but it's the internet. People want to know, are you making money? How are you living? And I'm not going to shy away from that. We are living a good life, and we've earned that because we've also been on the other side where I had 2-3 jobs and I hated life. All right. And so I'm going to show you how to have time and money together because that's what this is about, right? And so over a decade later, I'm still playing the same game, but I'm only playing it better, guys. Some of you may have saw my most recent Facebook Live or Instagram or YouTube Live, whatever. I post them all over those. But you can see from January 1st to July 19th, we're up $382,000. And here's the thing. I was making about $100,000 at my 6-figure job. And you might have heard me say this before, is that I bought 4 years of my life back. So in 6 months, I've made what it would have took me 4 years of working a ton of hours at work to make. And that's the power of this game. That's the power of being able to buy your life back or buy your time back, or being able to work and do something you love, like be a teacher, be a doctor, volunteer, but not have to worry about how you're going to pay the bills every single month. All right. And these are the type of trades that we share with our members. So it's not like, oh, Jason Brown's doing good, but nobody else is doing good. I share these exact trades with my members inside of our Power Trades University, which we'll talk to you about at the end. So my entire life changed literally the moment I decided to take control of my financial future. Because what I didn't share with you is the first time I tried this, I took $2,000 and I took it to Chase Bank and I said, I want to be rich. And they said, so that means you want aggressive funds. And they put me in some type of mutual fund. and they lost $1,300 of my money. And I'm thinking, you just lost $1,300 of my money. I was like, I could have lost my own $1,300. Am I making sense? Does that make sense to anybody? I'm like, you ever took your money to somebody and they lost money and you like, I could have did that. So why am I giving my money to you to lose it? Now, some people think, well, I would have lost more had I did it. I don't think like that. I think you lost me money. I could have lost my own money. So whatever you know, you obviously don't know something I can't learn because all you did was learn how to lose my money. Right. So I figured I could learn how to do that myself. And so as a result, today, I'm financially independent and my family wants for nothing, because here's the thing. It's not about the money we showed you on the slide. It's about the knowledge. No one can take from me that I can go pull 1,000 from here, 2,000 from here and put it in the market. And I know how to generate cash or income from it without asking anybody's permission. Right. And so that's why I have a passion for teaching others how to have their money work for them. All right. I'm just going to walk you through a couple of things some of my students have said, and then I'm going to dive into the 3 trends that you must know, and then 2 of my favorite option strategies. I'm going to talk to you about how all this works. All right. But here's what one of my students says. Following the course's advice, I sold my position yesterday for a little profit. Today, the stock is down 10%. Right. So we talked to you about how to get out, ideally when the trend is over, and lock in those profits. I also blurred out their names so people don't go like trying to find them on Facebook and like message them, right? Because we'd be having people trolling. So based on the techniques that you have introduced me to, I placed my first option trade and sold it for about 100% return. The best part about this is not that he made 100% return, is that nothing beats the knowledge is exactly what he said. Now, the results aren't typical. I'm not guaranteeing you'll have the same results. If I had that type of guarantee, I'd have a crystal ball and I'd be a billionaire. But this is what's possible when you learn how the industry works. And then one of our other members, Sylvain, he said, close my June call option on LMT, which is Lockheed Martin, at 3:30 on April 23rd. So that was like a couple months ago, for a cool 27% profit instead of a catastrophe. All right. And inside our members area, our members post their charts. They post the trades that they're trading with and stuff like that. And you can see he has about 978 posts. He's been with us for a while. Right. So trust me, if I can do this, and so can some of our members, so can you, right? So I'm not a professional licensed broker. I don't work for a bank or an investment firm, and nor do I want to. And even though I may be more experienced than you, or I have a little bit more money now to invest, because I did start with $500, I started my journey where many of you may be at right now, and I've had a burning desire to learn what the wealthy knew. And I said, as soon as I learned this stuff, I was like, why wouldn't I teach it? Because most people aren't teaching this stuff, and they're not teaching it the way that I needed to hear it. All right. And so I'm sharing this stuff with you today. All right. So a couple of things to keep in mind as we dive into the three things. Number one, you can manage your own money just as good as the so-called professionals. That's the one thing that I've learned. Number two, here's the key, guys. I want you to think logically about this, okay? We all have the same set of stocks to pick from, all right? You just have to learn how. Like Warren Buffett doesn't have like a special group of stocks that Warren Buffett can pick from. Warren Buffett has Apple. He has Facebook. He has all these same stocks to pick from that we have to pick from, okay? So the question is, how is he picking his stocks? How is Jason Brown picking his stocks in option trade? That's really the question. Not if this can work, but how to make it work for you. And then procrastination is your enemy. All right. So learn and apply the skills now. You're not getting younger. It's not getting easier. Okay. Only opportunities are passing you over. So don't procrastinate on this information once I share it with you. So let me connect the dots on how it all works. I want to take a complicated subject and make it simple. That's my gift, or at least that's what I've been told my gift is. I've had people say, no one has ever explained it like that until I saw your videos. And that gets me fired up. That's what keeps me doing these live trainings and different things like that. All right, so let's start connecting the dots. So if you're taking notes, the first way that a stock can trend is up. All right, so that's the first of the 3 types of trends, is an uptrend. So let me bring up a chart and show you an example. All right. So you have a chart of Apple, and let me see if I can turn on my drawing tool here. We have a chart. Yeah.
Can you share your screen on the webinar so that everybody can see?
Oh my God. Has that not been sharing the whole time?
It hasn't, but I know you get in the zone. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, man, please interrupt me. That means they miss seeing my screen the whole time. So, all right. So you guys missed all of these slides. All right. So, sorry about that. Yeah, Angelo, interrupt me next time, man, because they missed all of this. So anyway, well, you guys can see it now. So, all right. So the first, I'm going back here. So the people on the webinar couldn't see. I apologize, but we got it up now. So you just missed my stories and pictures of the house, all that good stuff, but I apologize. So here we go. Stocks can trend three ways. That is up. And then here's Apple, for example. So if you don't know how to read a stock chart, it's very simple to see that here is an uptrend. We call this the winner's circle. All right. The stock is up, and then the right hand in the winner's circle. All right. And so that's the first trend that you need to be able to learn how to spot. But within that trend, though, okay, within that trend, there are good times to buy and there are bad times to buy. So what do I mean by that? See right here when the stock pulled back. See right here when the stock pulled back. See right here when the stock sold off. And the unfortunate part is what some people do is they come in, and then let me erase that. What some people do, unfortunately, when they don't know how the market works, what they do is they come in and they buy right here, and then they sell down here, right? They buy high and sell low because they bought at the wrong time. And then when the stock sells off, they get nervous, they panic. How low is it gonna go? Maybe I made a mistake. And then the stock turns around and rallies. And then you think, what? The market is rigged. This doesn't work. How come soon as I get in, it goes lower? Soon as I get out, it goes higher. Well, you haven't been taught how to read the stock chart and understand the best times to buy and the best time to sell. And so this is one of the first patterns that you'll learn, which is the uptrending pattern. Okay. Now the second pattern, oh, well, here's another chart of an uptrending pattern. In fact, we call this an uptrending channeling stock. And let me turn my pen back on so you can see, boom, 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 right? And then what happened? Boom, came back down to this line. So if you were going to buy this tag of what we call support, this line right here is the best time to buy in an uptrend. And when it gets up here, it's kind of overrated. But at some point, it came back down to that trend and gave you an opportunity to buy. And so what we do is we look for these trends. And then when we spot them, we determine the best time to buy. So you're learning the first P in the power trade system, which is power charts. So it's being able to read and look for a power chart pattern and then determine the best time to buy. So one of the patterns is an uptrending stock. Now, the second way that a stock can trend in the three ways is sideways. All right. So a stock can trend sideways here. And so I call this grandpa's buy and hold strategy, right? So grandpa's like, just buy it and just hold it. You'll do okay. I don't necessarily believe in that. Why? Take a look at Ford stock. You can see right here, if you bought it at $14.23 in 1998, the stock has just been trending sideways. And then here we go in 2015, it's still $14.23. So let me ask you a question. How excited would you be if you bought a stock and you held it for roughly 17 years and the stock has not moved? It's in the same spot. You put 10,000 in, you got 10,000 out 17 years later. In fact, if we were to pull up Ford stock right now, it's actually lower than what we showed right here. It's actually lower than the 14.23. So how excited are you about buying something 17 years ago? 17 years later, still the same. And then 3 years after that, it's even lower, right? Because we're in 2018 now. And so is buying and holding the best strategy? I would argue no, right? I think trading the momentum and getting in on things that are working right now is the strategy. Okay. So buy and hold usually results in a loss due to inflation and a loss of time, right? Because The dollar doesn't buy what it used to buy back in 2000 or 19, I don't know what that was, 17 years ago. The dollar doesn't buy. So you lost inflation. And then you missed out on stocks like Apple, on Facebook, because you were stuck in Ford because somebody told you buy and hold and collect a dividend. All right. And so that's the second problem of stock traders. They usually lose money just by holding stuff too long and not knowing when to get in and when to get out. And here's the third way that a stock can trend. The third way that a stock can trend is down. All right. And so, this is the one that scares most people, because when stocks trend down, they don't know what to do. Take a look at this chart. And some people, this is their philosophy when it comes to buying stock, which is so flawed. Some people will say, oh, Bed Bath & Beyond is down. Should I buy it right here? I don't think it can go any lower. And I'm like, well, did you look at the chart? They don't know how to read charts. So then the stock does what? It goes lower. And then they say, oh, it's down, but I don't think it can go any lower. Okay. Then you look at the chart and it's down lower again, right? So what people are doing, they are going bullish or buying a stock that they think is going up in a downtrend, all because they've never been taught how to read a stock chart. And so when you talk to people and they're like, oh, I tried that investing thing before, lost all my money on Bed Bath & Beyond, I like to say, well, did you read the chart? Why would you have bought? Why did you think it was going back up when it's clearly in a downtrend? Or people ask me all the time, Jason Brown, what's a good stock to buy? And I always say, I don't know. It depends. I have to look at the chart, because I showed you a chart of Apple. Even though that's a good stock, there are still bad times to buy it. Does that make sense? Just because it's a good company, that's great, but there's still bad times to buy a good stock, okay? You know what? Let me change how I'm sharing my screen here and just make the PowerPoint really big. All right, there we go. So it should be bigger and better for you guys there. I apologize to people on the webinar. Should have tested a little of that before, but hey, we're live. We're not perfect, but I want you to make sure you're grabbing the concepts, okay? So, that's Bed Bath & Beyond going down. Now, here's the thing, though. You can make money, and this is foreign to most people. You can actually make money from stocks falling. So most people, they panic in a down market and they watch their earnings vanish overnight, over weeks, over a month. Because number one, they don't know when to get out and cut their losses. Number two, they don't have a strategy of how to make money from a falling stock, okay? And so that's the third problem of stock traders. So if you're thinking like, I'm a stock trader, I don't need to learn how to trade options, I just gave you three reasons why, or the three problems that most stock traders face and why they typically don't make money, which is why most of the people that you talk to have lost money in this industry. Most traders only know how to make money one way, and that is, I need the stock to go up. I need it to go to the moon. This is the one that's going to put my kids through college or whatever the case may be. And that's not always the case. It's actually not the case more often than not, right? And so if stocks can trend three ways, a little bit of a math equation for you guys here. If stock can trend three ways, and I see a couple of questions coming in. If you can, feel free to type them, then we're going to flag them, and at the end, we're going to answer them. All right. So we're not ignoring you. I just want to make sure I get through the information. But stocks trend three ways, right? Stocks trend up, they trend sideways, and they trend down. So if you assign a 33% chance to each one of those, right, trends, then the biggest problem stock traders have is they have one out of three ways that they can make money that a stock can move, which means they can only make money 33% of the time. They only have a 33% chance. They only have a 33% strategy. They only have a 33% pattern that when they find it, that they can make money out of. So what does that mean? Well, think about this. Then that means 66% is what they're leaving on the table. 66% of opportunity, 66% of the strategy and chances. And so if you only got a 33% on a test, would that be a pass or a fail? Just type the word fail, no matter where you're watching it, in the chat box. Would that be a pass or a fail? Very simple. It would be a fail, all right? So anybody who got a 33% chance on the test, that would be a fail. Colin Dale says fail. Alex Lubert says fail. Let me check YouTube here. Double R Somebody says, "What up, coach?" All right, let me get back focused. um, so, stock traders have a 67% chance of failure. So they're flushing their money down the toilet and they're wondering why this industry doesn't work for them. Well, no wonder it doesn't work. You got to think about it like this. If every time you left the house and drove your car, you had a 33% chance of getting to your destination or a 67% chance of getting into an accident, you would not be that excited to drive, would you? If you had a 67% chance of getting in an accident, you just wouldn't. So why do people come into the stock market and put their money at risk of getting into an accident without learning the other strategies? It doesn't make sense. And then they want to blame the industry, right? And so the fourth problem that most people and most stock traders face is that most people can't afford the best stocks without breaking the bank. And that was me. I was like, how do I buy the Googles? How do I buy the Amazons, the Teslas, the Netflix? I don't have that kind of money. And when I looked at these type of companies, I'm like, they're too expensive for the average stock trader to invest in. And I'm going to show you how you can get involved with those trades at a reasonable price. Okay. So most people are left buying penny stocks. If they don't learn what I'm about to share with you, they're typically left buying penny stocks, right? And those are companies that are going out of business. Here's the thing. Let me give you a secret. If you don't know this, the closer the stock price gets to zero, the more likely the company is getting ready to go out of business, okay? So if you didn't know that, I'm giving you that tip for free, all right? So you don't really want to be playing around with the companies that are close to zero. Under $5, they're likely to be going out of business soon, okay? And so I live in Detroit, or I live in the suburbs now, right? But I'm from Detroit, and like this is what your penny stock investment will buy you in Detroit, all right? And even Detroit's kind of coming up now, but I mean, like in some of the raw neighborhoods, like this is what you're buying when you buy a penny stock. And what you're saying is, you believe that they're going to come build a casino right around the block and they're going to knock on your door and offer to buy your house so they could demolish it, right? So you're basically looking at this as a lottery ticket when you buy a penny stock. But these are the investments for option traders, all right? This is the Birmingham. This is the Royal Oak, the Shelby Township, the Novi. These are the investments that are available for option traders. So how do smart investors do it? Options are the answer, okay? When you think about building a house, we're gonna talk about how it works here. I'm gonna give you my 2 option strategies. But when you think about building a house, listen, you can't build an entire house with just a hammer. What happens when you need to screw something in? What happens when you need a wrench? What happens when you need a shovel to do the landscaping, okay? You can't just use a hammer all the time. And that's what most people do. They come to the stock market and they have one strategy. And what's that? Buy and hold, or buy low and sell high. That's the only strategy they have, is hoping that the market goes higher. But I just showed you 3 examples where the market does not always go higher. It goes sideways, and stocks can also go down. All right. So if you're taking notes, here are the 2 types of option strategies that every trader should know. I don't care who you are. Okay. Every trader, if you hope to make money long term, you need to understand these 2 strategies, all right, which is call options and put options. So what are call options? Call options give you the right to control a stock at a certain price for a certain amount of time. It allows you to invest in higher price stocks at a fraction of the cost. And then it offers leverage for a small bank account. Let me give you an example, all right? So I want to make this plain Jane clear for you, all right? Think about when you go to buy a house, okay? Let's say you have a $200,000 house. You go, you say, okay, I want to buy this house. The seller agrees. You have to put down a earnest money deposit. So let's say you put down $1,000 to buy the house, right? And that is contingent upon what? An inspection, an appraisal, etc. And so what happens is you have the right, okay, look at this first line here. You have the right to control a stock. The stock is the house. You can control that house for $1,000, right? That's the certain price for a certain amount of time, 30 days till you get an inspection, till you get an appraisal. So you did not come with the entire $200,000 and buy the house on the spot. You came with $1,000 and you control the house for the next 30 days. That is what buying call options is like. You can control the Googles, the Apples, the Netflix for a fraction of the cost for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, depending on what time frame you want to control it for. And here's how it works. Let's say after the appraisal, the house, which is the stock in this case, in this example, comes back at $210,000. You have a choice. You still can buy the house for $200,000 because you have it under contract, under control for an agreed upon price. You could buy the house, then turn around and sell it to somebody else for $210,000 and make the $10,000 difference. Or here's how it really works with options, or how we teach you to do it. You take that piece of paper, that contract, you say, hey, somebody else can buy this house for $210,000 who really wants to live here, who's looking for a house for their kids, their family is right around the corner from the school. And you say, hey, I'll sell you this piece of paper for $10,000. You can go buy the house for $200,000. So that person spent what it appraised at, $210,000. However, you took that $1,000 and you turned it into $10,000, never having to come up with $200,000 for the entire house. You just controlled it for 30 days as the price went up. And that's exactly what we teach you how to do with stocks. Does that make sense? So just type in the box if that makes sense. Wherever you're at, just type "makes sense." If you're watching on YouTube, I'm just checking here. Type the word "make sense" or "sense." You know, some people might be one finger typing. If you're on Facebook, same thing. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So a lot of people saying yes, makes sense. Alex says yes, makes sense. All right, perfect. So if that makes sense, that is the power of using options. You can literally 10x your return using options, right? I love seeing them break through the wall, because that's how we break through and get to the other side of financial freedom, is by using options to supercharge your options. Looks like Linda on YouTube says makes sense. Nathan Howard on YouTube says makes sense. So perfect. All right. So that's the power of call option. It allows you to exponentially increase your profit potential. I mean, if you put $1,000 up and pull it back 10,000, you'd be celebrating, right? So that's how you exponentially get those crazy returns that I talk about. And it allows you to control the higher price stocks like Google, Tesla, Amazon. And then it offers you leverage for growing a small trading account. So this is why you don't have to have a big trading account, because if you know how to use options for leverage, then you can do some of the trades and some of the things that we're talking about here, right? And so let's talk about put options, right? So this is a down strategy. So if the stock is falling, it's basically the opposite of a call option. You can force somebody to buy your stock. So it gives you the right to put the stock to someone else at a specific price. It allows you to profit from the fall of a stock, and then it allows you to protect your portfolio and lock in gains, right? So it's the opposite of a call option. The call option, you're hoping the price increase. The put option, you're hoping the stock falls and you can force somebody to buy it at a higher price. It's some really cool stuff. Literally, you can force someone to buy your falling stock at a higher price. And you may be thinking, why would somebody enter into an agreement to buy a stock at a higher price? Well, that person might be thinking, I'm just going to make this $1,000 because there's no way this price of the stock would ever fall. And so they would enter that contract to just make $1,000, where you're entering that contract because you're watching the chart and you believe that the stock is going to fall in the next 30 days. But if they don't know how to read the chart, too bad, so sad for them. They thought they could make a quick $1,000. And so there's always two sides to the story. One person believes they can make that 1,000. Another person sees that the stock is going to fall and sees an opportunity to make more than that 1,000 or put it to that person at a higher price. All right. So that's how it works. So let me give you an example from my real trading account. All right. I took, if you see right here where it says cost basis, in this red box, cost basis, 98,000. Let's just round that up to 100,000. I did a trade for $100,000 and the stock fell. Okay. The stock fell and I made $21,000. That's a 21.6% return. Just call it a 20% return. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Don't look at how much money I'm trading and think, well, I didn't have $100,000. All right. What I want you to think about is 20% return. Okay. Look at this. And that was a 20% return in 9 days. You can see right here, I bought the trade, bought to open. That P means put option. I bought that June 19th. That was last month. All right. I bought that June 19th. I sold it June 28th. 9 days later, 20% return. Okay, so this stuff is real. So let me ask you this. If you could get a 20%, and these are the trades we share with our members, right? So our members, I said, hey, this is the trade for the week. If you could, where else are people getting a 20% return in 9 days? Okay. And so when I tell you you can get 10% return in a month, 20% return in a month, it's because we're doing trades like this. So that means if you had $1,000, you would have came back with $1,200 because you would have had 20% profit. If you had $10,000, you would have came back with $12,000, right? You would have made $2,000 profit. It doesn't matter. If you had 100,000 like me, you made $20,000 in 9 days. And here's the thing I want you to take away from this, right? Because people, and God bless people, but people are so negative these days. Nobody's making 20% return in a month. Nobody's making 10%, blah, blah, blah. I always like to say, no, you're not making 20%. You're not making 50% because I'm making it. Somebody's making it, all right? Whether you join us on this journey or not, you're not making 20%, all right? Somebody's doing it. Warren Buffett's doing it. Bill Gates is doing it. You not doing it, all right? Don't say nobody's doing it. You're not doing it, okay? But these are the trades that we're in. So buying stock is a small piece of the strategy, okay? Buying stock is just a super small piece of the strategy. The rest of the strategy, the missing piece, is learning how to strategize with options. If anybody is just trying to sell you on get into the stock market, you're missing a piece to the puzzle if they're not teaching you about options. If they're not teaching you how to make money when the stock falls, when it goes sideways. They're not teaching you how to exponentially grow your account when the stock goes up. You're missing the boat, okay? Options are the missing piece to your strategy. So there's 3 important steps to your success here, okay? Number 1, to recap the power trade system, you need to learn how to read stock charts so that you can identify the correct trend. You got to be able to read a stock chart. That's the foundation of what we do. First, to be able to spot the trend and then determine the best time to buy and sell, right? So that's number 2, determine the best time to buy, the best time to sell within that trend for maximum profit. And when the trend is over, how do you get out and cut your loss? That is the name of the game. We're not right 100% of the time, but how do you cut your loss and make your loss small? And then when you're right big. That's the name of the game. And then number 3, learning how to apply the correct option strategy to maximize the profits while minimizing risk. Literally, that is the power trade system, okay? Power charts, power trade, power profits, okay? So let me just check. Before I share with you the bonus, how to get the courses for free, and some special stuff we have for you, did you learn something today? Does this make sense? If you learned something today, just type learn, all right? Like, yep, you learned something. If you didn't, type no. But if you didn't, then I don't know why you're on this webinar if you knew everything already. So if you learned something today, just type the word learn in there. Henry says he learned something. Colin, Dale, Linda, Enzel. I know Enzel. What's up, buddy? On YouTube, we got Nathan, Cameron, Johnny, Jimenez. Hopefully I said that right. All right, perfect. Let's check Facebook. Facebook, you guys are slacking. Type in the box if you learned something. Someone's asking question, how do you find buyers? That's all in the course. So so here's the thing. If you learn something today, we only had a limited amount of time, right? So just imagine if we had more time, all right? There's only so much I can teach you on the free webinar. All right. Uchimi Amina says learned a lot. Terry says learn. Rebecca Smith. Okay. So they're coming in on Facebook. But again, just imagine if we had more time. So here's what I want to share with you. Church is going to share with you a special offer at the end. I want to tell you a little bit more about that. Right. So listen, I'm not sure why you showed up today. Right. Maybe you're like me and you were frustrated with your investing track record. You were losing money. I was making money, losing it, making it, losing it. And I couldn't figure out why until I learned how to read the charts and then until I learned how to use options so that I could be prepared for any market condition. Because we could go to war tomorrow and then the market turns downward. I now feel better prepared to make money in down markets because I know how to trade put options. Okay. It could be that you're just looking for an opportunity to provide more for you and your family. That was me. And I'll say this, man, like, maybe you're like me, but I was like, why does everybody else get to drive a Jaguar? Why does everybody else get to drive a Mercedes Benz? Like when we bought this house, I was like, man, we finally have a what do they do house. That's what I call it, right? Where people like, hey, what do they do, right? Like you bring somebody over and they like, hey, what do they do? I'm like, we finally have a what do they do house. You know what I'm saying? Like I got tired of going to everybody else's nice home and like, well, what do they do? Where do they work? I'm like, how come it's not my turn? All right. So maybe you're looking to provide more for you and your family. I know I was, or maybe you heard all the buzz and excitement around how others are having success in the stock market. Maybe you got caught up in that foolishness with cryptocurrency and you really want to know how to make your money work in something that's more proven, right? And that's what this is about, right? Or perhaps you were bored and you just wanted to hang out with Jason Brown today. So I'm flattered if that was the case as well. But literally learning how to use options to profit from the stock market, it can transform your life. Having strategies for up, down, and sideways markets, there's no other way to trade. There's no other way to get you to confidence because without it, you wouldn't be prepared for the three scenarios. And if you know those three scenarios and you're prepared for them, you can make money in any type of market, okay? And learn how to minimize your risk while increasing your profit potential, right? And then please remember this as I get ready to share with you how you can learn more, how you can join us inside of Power Trades University. Nothing I've shared with you here today is theory or fluff, right? Or it might work. I showed you real trades from my real account. So we can throw the skepticism out the door. We can throw the, how much money are you making? If you're, one of the stupidest things someone has ever said is if you're making so much money, why are you teaching people? As if like every time, like that's the only reason to teach. How about because I want to give back? How about because doesn't matter if you buy Apple or I buy Apple, it doesn't like you don't have enough money to move the price up or down. So it's not like, oh, because y'all bought Apple, I can't buy Apple tomorrow. So like, that's that stinking thinking, right? But people think anytime someone's making money, like they shouldn't teach anybody. Well, that's like going to McDonald's and saying, if you're making so much money, why would you franchise it out and let your franchisees get a piece of it? Like, hello, because I figured out the system and I can help other people do it. And obviously I get compensated a small little bit from it, but whether they buy into the concept or not, McDonald's is selling millions of burgers, right? And so it's about giving back. It's about sharing, not to mention sharing it with you. Like whether you on this webinar buy or not didn't affect me making $380,000 in 6 months. So it doesn't matter, right? And so this is the stuff I've used to grow my own personal multiple six-figure investment account. I've helped thousands of students learn how the market works and begin their journey to see similar results, right? And then last but not least, here's why you should want to learn this, all right? You can invest from anywhere in the world, okay? When I thought about buying a franchise or something like that, I thought I can only make money on this street corner. Like if I had a McDonald's or a Wendy's, like I can only make money on this corner. So only the people who drive by here daily will be my customers. That's it. Whereas I can make money anywhere in the market. My money can work harder for me than I can work for it, right? And what do I mean by that? Guys, you only got 24 hours in a day. You got to sleep. You got to eat. You got family issues, stuff like that. You need to take vacation. You have to deal with all that stuff that a human has to deal with. My money does not complain, doesn't talk back, doesn't take sick time, doesn't need a vacation. It just works. I say go out, find me some trades, and bring back some friends, okay? It's recession proof because I just showed you we can make money in a down market. So sometimes people are like, well, you're doing good because the market's up. Well, I just showed you I made money on a bearish or a trade that fell in a bullish market, right? And then here's the thing. You know, being a young black male, I'm just going to be real. There was not a lot of people that looked like me on TV or anywhere that I knew that was in the stock market. And what I love about it is that there's no racism, no sexism, no ageism, no nothingism, right? The market doesn't care that I'm black, doesn't care that you're white, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't care, doesn't even see you, right? It's just we type in on the computer what we want to buy and the money gets transferred electronically and we send it right back out to our bank. There's no sexism, doesn't care that you're female, doesn't matter if you're 21 or 80. Now it does care if you're 17 years old because you can't open a stock trading account, but outside of that, there's no nothingism, and that's not a real word. I just made that up, all right? So it doesn't matter if you're new to this industry with no experience, if you have a small trading account, if you lost money in the market before, if you didn't go to school for this, it's all about taking baby steps and taking action to learn this. So there's one thing to take away. I've literally, guys, cracked the code on how the stock market works, and I can literally show anyone how to have their money work for them. And it's literally changed my world, how I view money and work, and it's changed how my students view the world, right? I view working for money a little bit different now. And so you can make a lot of money doing this and transform your life and your financial future in a way that's unimaginable. I never imagined that I'd be as young as I am in my dream house, chilling in the middle of the day, relaxing, just with the type of time freedom that we have. I didn't imagine, and I didn't imagine it would come this soon. All right. But that's the power of learning how to have your money work for you. So let's talk about, how to get involved with the system. So that's my signature 3P system. Power charts, learn how to read the charts. Power trades, learn how to trade the options and figure out the best option strategy. And then power profit, when's the best time to get out of the trade for maximum profit. All right. So the obvious question is, how can you leverage this system and put it to work for you? So you got two choices, right? As we're wrapping up here. You can do it the slow way, and I'm going to show you how to get both of my courses for free. You can do it the slow way and go through trial and error, and you can take some of what I've given you today, and you're like, oh, I think I got it, Jason Brown. I can go figure it out from here, right? But trying to figure it out without the right guidance costs money in this industry. Or you can do it the quick way by joining Power Trades University. So let's talk about what Power Trades University is. I want to introduce you to my program because people always are saying, how can I trade what you're trading? How can you let us know what you're getting in and out? Can you teach me how to do this? All right. And we charge people $10,000 to do one-on-one work. So I thought, how can I work with the masses, the most people, and have the most impact? And we created Power Trades University. We've been doing this for about 3 years now, right? So what is Power Trades University? It's my complete step-by-step stocks and options trading and group coaching membership program designed to take you by the hand, literally by the hand, to go from beginner to confident trader. Notice it didn't say designed to go from $1,000 to $10,000. I cannot guarantee you financial results, okay? But I can guarantee you you'll be a confident trader and you'll learn how this industry works. And if you follow what we're doing, if I'm making money, ideally you should be in theory, all right? But no missing steps, no confusion, right? It's the quickest, most effective way to get from point A to B. So let me talk to you about what's in both of these courses. If you know anything about our program, those courses are so valuable, right? So Foundations is a 16-lesson stock trading course. Options Explained is a 30-lesson option trading course. Plus, the group coaching program is my live weekly program where I walk you through how to find the best stocks to trade and apply the correct option strategy for maximum leverage. So I'm literally walking my members through the trades, walking them through what we're buying, what we're selling live. And if for some reason you can't make it live, it's all recorded. And I'll show you in a minute. I'll take you into the back end of Power Trades University. It's all recorded, so you can also watch the recording at any given time. So it doesn't matter if you have a full-time job. Do you get a lunch break? It's a different way to use your lunch break now, right? So literally 24/7 instant access, lifetime updates as long as you have an active account. And literally step by step, nothing is left out, along with a growing trading community of smart and savvy power traders. We call ourselves power traders inside of Power Trades University. And they're there to help support you and encourage you along the way. Let me just break down real quick what's in this, and I'll show how you can get this stuff for free by joining our membership, right? So you got 16 lessons. We're going to teach you about the market language, how to read stock charts, how to spot trends, how to determine the buy and sell signals that we talked about. We're going to teach you how to do fundamental research, how to read a balance sheet, how to determine if a stock is fundamentally sound in case you do want to hold it more long term, how to read charts, those buy and sell signals, definitions. We're also going to teach you how to open your own brokerage and trading account. We're going to also teach you how to do what we call paper or virtual trading so you can practice your way to profits, okay? Which is very important that you practice before you put real money down. We also have the 30 module option trading course. We're going to walk you through the definitions. We're going to train you on calls and puts. There's 9 other strategies. I only told you 2, and I didn't even go in too much depth on how to pick them. There's 9 other strategies inside that course. I'm going to give you my complete options formula guide. I'm going to give you all my option market strategies. I'm going to also walk you through what other industries use options. I'm going to give you side-by-side examples of if you bought the stock and if you bought the option so you can see which one is better. And then I'm going to break down all the components, the option structure, the option price formula to make sure you're not overpaying for your option. I'm also going to walk you through my free option tools and resources. So if you're thinking, what other software do I need? And I'm going to walk you through the best free tools and free resources inside the course. I told you about the 3 types of call options. There's calls, there's puts, there's combinations when you put them together. There's some cool stuff you can do. How to read an option chain, the option worksheet, all this stuff. I'm going to teach you how to use put options for protection. So if you want to protect your portfolio, I'm going to walk you through how that works. And then there's actually a put option strategy that I'm going to show you how to make money or get the stock at a discount every time or get paid for trying. Control versus ownership, which we talked about a little bit with that house example. I'm going to show you my rental income strategy. So this is for all my people who like, well, I heard you should put money in real estate. We have a rental income strategy that we use inside the stock market that I'm going to share with you inside this course, where literally you can get paid money monthly for renting your stocks out if you have a pretty big stock portfolio. All right. And then how to profit from a market sell-off using put options. Inside the group coaching, all right, this is where the magic happens. 2 hours a week live, okay? I don't know where else you can get live coaching from a real trader for 2 hours a week. Live Q&A, access to my personal trade tracker, and then you also get access to the Traders Forum and community. And so I just want you to think about this. I'm going to share with you the price here. Imagine if you could have time and money together, not having to choose between which one is more important. If you can give yourself a raise whenever you felt like it, because you can log onto a computer, pick a trade, and pluck some money right off the tree, all right, off that money tree. If you could have more time to spend with your friends, your family, and loved ones, if you felt confident that you can control your financial destiny in any market condition for the rest of your life. Like I was talking to somebody else and they was talking about like when you work for yourself, you know, oh, what about paying for insurance and stuff like that? I'm like, listen, when you can make $20,000 in 9 days, okay, you can buy insurance for the family, okay? So people who are worried about that stuff is if you don't make enough money, right? I'm just being real. Like you wouldn't go to Jay-Z and Beyonce and say, aren't you guys worried about not having insurance? They like, with the amount of money we make, we could buy a hospital, okay? So it's all in perspective or respective of how much money you're making, all right? And so when you're making a certain amount of money, your biggest concern is not what am I going to do for insurance, okay? So that's what I'm saying by feeling confident that you can control your financial destiny in any market condition for the rest of your life. So how much will this cost you? I want you to think about how much money you've already lost by not having the strategies for any market condition. And then think about what banks charge you, all right? You could take your money to a bank. I did that. I gave them my $2,000. They got a percentage of it. And the reality is if they could do this, they would be doing it for themselves. They wouldn't be working at a job at a bank, okay? And so let me walk you through the pricing, and then I'm going to give you the special pricing just for those people who are on this webinar. We're going to post a link here for you to click here in a moment here. But foundations is $297 if you want to buy it outright. Options Explained is $597 if you want to buy it outright. We also have our advanced options course, which is $997. I don't even have that up here. You'll see it on the next slide. And then if you want to be in coaching, it's $499 to join coaching, and it's $99 a month. So it's $1,588 annually. That's all $2,482, and it doesn't include my $1,000 advanced option course, which so that puts you at about a little bit under $3,500. But that's not the special price today. So we have, we're passionate about getting this out, and we like removing the excuse. Oh, it's expensive. Define expensive. If I could show you how to make 20% return in 99 days, you're still on the consumer side mindset. You're not thinking like an investor, okay? So what we did was, it's already $499 just to join the community, to get my trades weekly. But then we said, why don't we throw in foundations, right? Teach people how to trade the stocks, throw in Options Explained. And so when you join the membership at $499, and then it's $99 a month to remain active, you get access to foundations. You get access to Options Explained. You get access to all the previous webinars that we did. And we've been doing this going on 3 years now. So there's a ton of videos, training, not to mention the live trainings that we have every single week, where I look for real trades and you get to ask questions, talk about trades that you have, that you're looking at, as well as get access to our members. But that's not it. But while we're doing this, do me a favor, put the link on Facebook, on YouTube, drop the link, because once the timer hits 0 on that page, the offer goes away. But I do want to make sure we put the link up so that people have it. So if you could do that for me, Angelo, that'd be great. So here's the other things I'm going to give you. You're going to get a brokerage account training mini course, okay? So we're going to teach you how to open your brokerage account, how to set up your charts, how to read streaming quotes, all that good stuff, all that juicy stuff, okay? We also have some charting software inside of Power Trades University. So you can use our charting software so that you can start to chart your stocks. I hit the keyboard, jumped ahead. All right, you're going to get my option trading cheat sheet. We're going to give you a Greeks course, right, to teach you about the Greeks. If you're not familiar with the Greeks, that's how you determine if you're overpaying for an option or not. And then here's the bonus that I wanted to also throw out there. For those who take advantage of the fast acting bonus, right, we're going to also throw in my advanced options course. That's right. That course is $997. It's a 13 lesson advanced options course with directional and neutral trading strategies for stocks releasing earnings. If you've ever heard of iron condors, butterflies, iron butterflies, if you don't know that stuff, don't worry. It's not really a butterfly that flies around. It's a super complicated trading strategy, but I break it down inside this course and make it simple. In fact, we're still recording modules for it. At this time, it's $997, but it'll probably be going up. But we're going to throw that in as well. So just to recap, well, before we recap, I'm also going to give you my 100% 30-day guarantee. Now, what is the 30-day guarantee? My satisfaction guaranteed, right? We call this the show us your work guarantee, right? So we don't like tire kickers. We don't like people who can't make a decision. We don't like people who want to get in here, go through all the material, then say, I didn't learn anything. Like, okay, you wouldn't have bought if you knew all this stuff, right? And so here's what we're going to say. If you literally come in, take the courses, and can show us that you placed at least 3 trades, and we're going to look at those trades and see if you followed our system, and it didn't work out for you, we'll give you your money back. But here's what I know. You can't come in, take the training, follow the trades we pick, and not have success. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a business, right? Right? Because we'd be out of business. Everybody said it doesn't work, right? So that just throws that logic out the window, which is why I'm able to make this guarantee, because I am basically saying if you're willing to work, we're willing to work with you, and we're going to get you to the other side of success. So if you follow the training, follow the system, follow the trades, you will have success. And if you don't, then we'll give you your money back. But I'm going to analyze those 3 trades to make sure you followed our system. You can't just go off and do what you want to do, lose money, and then say, I want a refund. All right. So that's how the 30-day guarantee works. We call it the show us your work guarantee. I just want to read you 2 testimonials. And again, I think Angelo dropped that link in there for everybody on Facebook. Pardon me?
On YouTube, can you paste the link in there? Because it won't allow me to.
Yes, I will paste that in 1 second. All right. I just want to read what one of our members said. He said it's pretty simple. He said Monday night's coaching has paid for itself 30 times over already, which means Monday night is when we have the live webinars from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Again, they're recorded if you can't be there, if you work midnights or something like that, has paid for itself over. You can see, I think I saw Bob actually registered for this webinar, but Bob was one of our members. It was 125% gain for me, just shy of a month. What's next? Bring it on. I love that. Nikisha is actually one of our newer members or more recent members. Happy to report, and this was April 17th, happy to report I completed my first option trade with a 55.6% return in 12 days on RHT. That was a stock we were trading. Awesome for me. Thanks at Jason Brown at Sylvain for calming me down. I took my money and I'm running, right? So this stuff is happening for people. And then this is my trading account. You can't see all the trades, but one thing you can see is that we're up just under $400,000 and it's only 6 months in the year. And these results are not typical or guaranteed. I'm not guaranteeing that you'll get this because we can't make that type of guarantee. But these are the trades I'm sharing with our members. And you can see we had 2 red trades, but look how many green trades we had, right? And so we're not always right, but we want to be more right than we are wrong. And then we want to be right more often. Does that make sense? That's the name of this game, probability and statistics. So let me just recap real quick. You're going to get foundations. You're going to get options explained. You're going to get the brokerage account training mini course. You're going to get access to the charting software. You're going to get access to the trading cheat sheet. You're going to get access to the Greeks mini course. And for those who act before the timer hits 0 on the page on that link that we posted, we're also going to throw in the advanced options course, which is $997. All right. So let me see, what questions do we have? And then I'm going to also pull up the Power Trades University. I'm just going to show people the back end. But Angelo, were there any questions that came in? If so, just let me know. I'm just pulling up the university so people can see what this looks like.
Yep. So we have a question from David that says, do you usually trade a certain time frame, daily, weekly, etc.?
So we typically trade monthly, right? So we look for trades every week, but the trades last usually 30, 60, or 90 days. So we're not in front of the screen day trading. You kind of place the trade and kind of go on working until the trade works itself out. So great question. And then in a second, well, here, let me just show people real quick. This is what the back end looks like. There's the free charting software. There's the foundation course, the advanced options course, options explain, advanced options course. Here's the coaching area. Here's the replays. So when we go and do a video, you can see it's a 2-hour live webinar. FedEx was one of the stocks we talked about being down here at support, ready to buy. It's all timestamp what stock we talked about at what time frame. So you can go straight to that time frame if you're short on time. You can leave comments below the video. So that's all there. The other thing is our trade tracker. So we notate all of our trades. So what pattern, what stock, when we're looking to get in, what was the results? It's all color coded. The price we got in at, if it was a win, all that stuff is noted here. So you can come look and see what's going on with the trade. So, I mean, it's literally all here for you. All the members can chat inside like the bullish or the bearish forum. So somebody posted this 9 hours ago. The members posting their charts. You can see people are replying, giving feedback. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, right? And so most people are going at this alone And this is the community where you can get around serious traders who've all been trained the same way, might I add, right? Because you got these free forums where you got all these people who are just running their mouth, look at this stock, look at that, but nobody's knows what they're talking about. These are all people who've been trained the exact same way. All right. So that's what you're getting access to. What other questions did we have come in?
So we had a question on YouTube that said what kind of indicators needed for option trading?
Well, it all starts with reading the chart. So there is no special indicator. So we're going to teach you how to read a candlestick stock chart. So once you learn how to read a candlestick stock chart, then we walk you through some of the things to look for before you buy an option. But we don't use any indicators on the option. We do use the delta, the Greeks, some of that stuff to show you what to look for to make sure it's a good option and to make sure you're not overpaying. We use Charles Schwab. So we use Schwab for like our brokerage account, but you don't have to use the same brokerage account that we use, but that's just who we use, but you don't have to use them. We also use some premium software that we use to scan the markets and stuff like that. But Charles Schwab is the broker platform of choice.
Awesome. On the webinar, Alex asked, the payment option 1 is only available today, so we will not be able to get this payment in the future. Is that correct?
I think it's available today. We have another webinar at 8 o'clock, but in the future, it'll probably just be regular price. So you'll be able to join, but this is a special for people who take action today. I think we're running it through. We got another webinar tonight at like 8 o'clock or something like that. So whatever the countdown timer says on that page, when you click it, that's how long you have to take advantage of this promo. So if we ran it forever, then it wouldn't be a promo.
Exactly. Well, I want to say congratulations on Facebook. Somebody just got started.
So awesome. Name the person who just got started so we can give them a shout out here. And then we also have an orientation coming up where we're going to be taking people through kind of a customized game plan starting next week. So if you have their name, great. If not, no worries.
So I have the name. It's just, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Give it your best shot.
It's U-C-H-E.
All right. Yushi, welcome. If we pronounced that wrong, sorry about that. Let's see. I saw a couple other people who got started as well. So we want to say welcome to the team. We had Brandy Tate get started. So welcome, Brandy. If that's the Brandy Tate, I think it is. She's local here. We had Keith get started. Yeah, we got Yuchi. I can't pronounce that either, but Yuchi, welcome. Jimmy got started and a couple more coming in. So anyway, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, we're going to get ready to wrap up here. We go live every Monday for members for 2 hours from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In fact, when you register for the live webinar, you just come inside of here into the platform, and then you come over here to calendar, and then you can see when the group coaching sessions are. So when's the next one? Today is the 20th to 23rd will be the next one. You come in here, you just register by clicking the link, register for the live webinar, and then you join us. And then we're going to be breaking down what trades we're looking at. And again, if you miss it, you can come watch the replay. You got access to the forum to chat with other traders. It's all here. It's all here. The coaching, the courses, the community. If you can't be successful with being trained, being in the right environment, and watching somebody actually place real trades with real money that is having success, then I don't know what else would help you. We also have quizzes. We have built-in quizzes to make sure that you can test your knowledge, to make sure you understand the information that you took in the course. I mean, it's all here. So I don't know what else to give you to help you be successful. You just have to make a decision if today is your day. If you're not going to say next week, next year, next month, someday, maybe somehow, just get started and let's rock and roll together. Any other questions before we wrap up? Let me see. I'm just going to check YouTube. You can check Facebook. Someone said, is there, I missed the cost because of the buffering. Can you please repeat? So I'm just going to go back to this slide one more time. We're giving you a one-time deal. So it's typically about $3,500 because we're also throwing in a bonus of our $1,000 advanced options course. So here's the slide to look at right here. All right, $4.99 to join and then $99 a month. Okay, it's cheaper than your cable bill. All right, it's cheaper than what you would pay, Comcast every single month to be able to learn how to trade in the stock market, to be able to be in the community, to get the courses, to watch a real trader trade, to have access to the free charting software. I can't offer a better deal than that. That's the deal of the century. Christmas came early. Someone said, is it risky to trade options during earnings? It is, but we actually have an options earning strategy inside our advanced options course. So there is a strategy for earnings, and then there's another strategy to protect your portfolio over earnings in the regular options trading course. So we do give you two strategies for trading over earnings. That was asked by, looks like Wandy. Hopefully I said that right. Any other questions from the webinar platform or from, I bought the foundations course. I've gone through it once, but I'm currently going through it again. So great. It's good to review the information. Sometimes the second time you learn stuff that you didn't learn the first time going through. So let me see. YouTube, any other questions? I think that's it for questions. Anything on Facebook before we wrap up? All right, awesome, guys. If it's some question we didn't answer on YouTube, feel free to comment below the video. If it's on Facebook, feel free to comment below the video. We will probably be deleting the video after the timer hits 0 on the offer. But if for some reason we didn't answer your question or you didn't want to post it publicly, send us an email at info@thebrownreport.com, and we'll be sure to answer your question. If you purchase, we already shouted out some of the names, but welcome to the community, and I'm looking forward to seeing you grow and really looking forward to seeing you become a testimonial with us to say you took the plunge and the leap, and now you're one of the people saying you made 10 or 20% profit. So I'll see you guys later. We got another webinar tonight at, I think it's 7:00 p.m. So if you know some friends or family that should be on this or getting this information, make sure you share with them the link to register for the webinar, or tell them, send us an email or messages on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get them the link, or subscribe to our channel or page, because we'll be going live for the third and final time tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So have a great night.